Matthew Fox, the former Roman Catholic Dominican priest and a prolific writer on green spirituality, speaks quite profoundly, I think, when he says, Simon Wiesenthal did not offer the dying SS man forgiveness as a Jew. How could he forgive in the name of even one in that home of horrors where hundreds were tortured, millions were tortured? But Simon Wiesenthal, summoned as priest-confessor, let the man speak his heart. Some sins are too big for forgiveness, even for priests. Public penance is what is required. This man received no public penance, but his private penance was considerable, having to die in the silence of the truth staring him in the face. I sense in the wisdom of Simon Wiesenthal's silence, in his decision to walk out in silence, a win-win situation. Wiesenthal kept his soul, and the young soldier may have saved his soul. Not a priest offering cheap grace for unmentionable sins, but a relative of his dead victims. Call it tough love, or call it non-sentimental compassion. But Wiesenthal offered Karl a morally responsible and adult response in his silence. Be with your sin, he was saying. Be in the dark negativa where so many of your victims lie. Be where so many of your victims and their relatives lie. Listening was Wiesenthal's gift to Karl. It was his gift of compassion. This unusual gift between two young men, one a killer and the other a hunted for no other reason than his race. This touching of stories and hearts. Both were victims of older men's decision-making, but one was a perpetrator of that older man's sick vision, and the other was at the receiving end of it. This was Simon Wiesenthal's compassion, to stay and listen, and even to remain silent, and to refuse to offer cheap forgiveness for so heinous a crime. There are sins that God and not humans must forgive, and no one had anointed Simon Wiesenthal to forgive in God's name. There has been much to digest this morning. I wanted to offer you many different responses to a situation that mercifully many of us will never have to suffer or anything like it. Simon Wiesenthal's story is the most extreme of scenarios, and it requires us to really think about what we mean when we speak about forgiveness. Extreme though it may be, forgiveness, to forgive or not, is with us in all our lives, all the time. And how we deal with it determines greatly what quality of life it is that we all live. And in contemplating the extreme, we are more fully informed of what it is that we are or are not offering when we offer forgiveness or when another is offering it to us. And sadly, tragically, atrocities like those Simon Wiesenthal was subjected to continue in our world every day. Is forgiveness, that gift of grace that we are offered undeservedly, that gift that loosens the cords of our mistakes, that binds us to the past, that lifting up and sending away of our sins, is it a gift that gives us back a future, our own future, and a future with our victims? How rich are the possibilities that forgiveness offers us. Yet, does forgiveness also have its limits? Are there times when the granting of forgiveness is inauthentic, when it is nothing but cheap grace that forgets the victim at the expense of the perpetrator? Is it true that whoever is merciful to the cruel will end by being indifferent to the innocent? And is not forgiveness a sacred and valued quality only because we understand it has limits? As Jacques Derrida says, there is only forgiveness, if there is any, when there is the unforgivable. This you each must decide for yourselves. I will leave you with a medieval story. Legend has it that the apostles assembled together in heaven to re-celebrate the Last Supper. There was one place vacant, until through the door Judas came in, and Christ rose and kissed him and said, "We've been waiting for you." Amen.